weekend.
Yeah.
You just have to hope that you're not spending your weekend cleaning up from storm damage or flooding issues. Now, thanks to our virtual view technology, I'm standing in New York's Central Park. Now, it's not going to be the best day for a stroll in the park or an outdoor lunch. Storms are rolling through, bringing the risk of strong winds and heavy rain. Now, Central Park is actually running about 2 inches below average, a little bit more than 2 inches below average for rainfall so far this year. So we'll take the rain. It's getting a little crispy out there. You just don't want the storms moving through, and that's what we've already had this morning. Now you'll notice that it's quiet in New York City right now, but rain is starting to edge in there in some of those southern suburbs, some of those southern areas. That's going to continue filling in. We are going to see this kind of as the trend for today. On and off chance for storms. You'll want to take that umbrella, maybe your rain boots, part of your plan for today. You'll see that the storms give us a little bit of a break at times. Patterson, Yonkers at 3 o'clock, it's quiet, but we'll have those storms bubbling up as we head into the evening. You have a better chance in Patterson and Yonkers up toward Greenwich, Bridgeport, all for that round of storms after sunset. So keep that in mind as you're making your Friday evening plans out on Long Island. The same thing as those storms roll through. Now for your morning, we've already had some rain move through places like Hartford and Providence, but we're not done yet. Your lunch hour is going to be a very wet one from New Haven up to Hartford, some storms moving through, and then some feisty storms through the afternoon. We're talking maybe a bit of hail, definitely some lightning, and certainly some gusty winds heading into the evening. So if you're having your Friday dinner plans or you're trying to pick what day this weekend you want to go out and about, maybe hit the city, I'd say Saturday night is going to be a better night than your Friday. Up to Montpelier, Burlington, Vermont, you guys have that possibility for more rounds of rain and storms. It's not just there, it's upstate New York as well. It is going to be a wet ride at times, and not just that, we're adding more rain and more storm chances to an area that's still trying to recover from all of the flooding that we've just seen. Those creeks and rivers are still elevated, so the last thing you want to do is add more rain to that area, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Today at Fenway Park, the Mets taking on the Red Sox. That game around 7:10 Eastern time, just around the time we'll start to see those storms bubbling right back up Reynolds. So certainly something to watch if you're planning on heading out to that game.
Oh yeah, we're going to round the bases, make our way to the deep south.
I know a lot of people hoping for that. Thanks so much, Jordan. Well, bonfires are a great way to get together with friends and family for the weekend. So we want to take a look at your bonfire forecast presented by Hershey's S'mores. What better way than to spend your summer Friday evening enjoying the outdoors, enjoying some Hershey's S'mores as well. Let's head to La Crosse, Wisconsin, there on the beautiful Mississippi River. It is going to be fantastic this evening. Temperatures are going to be in the lower 80s before falling into the mid 70s. That sun goes down and you see those temperatures fall into the lower 70s. To central Oklahoma, still water. Will you be in the upper 70s throughout the evening? Perfect weather for a bonfire and some s'mores. To Morgantown, West Virginia, America's Morning Headquarters. It's Friday, July 21st. We've made it to another end of the work week, so Friday, or maybe not so much, because also for some of us the dew points are going up, which means it's sticky, it's unpleasant, it's hot. But incoming storms are promising to bring a little relief from that heat. Behind them, we'll see drier and slightly more pleasant air for some cities. So our dew points that we have out there right now, pretty humid. The higher the dew point is, the more moisture you have in the air. That is what the dew points are. They're a measure of the moisture in the air. So when you're talking about a dew point of 78 degrees in Montgomery, Alabama, you're walking out the door to that air just absolutely giving you a hug. And it's one of those hugs you don't want, Jordan. You know when you're like trapped and someone's like, okay, well, I'll talk to you later, and they hold out their arms and you're like, oh, I don't want to hug you. That's the hug the humidity gives you.
I mean, this time of year, though.
Okay, so let's talk about this, because I'm sure some of our viewers are like, yeah, the rebates are great and getting the money back is great, but how are you guys helping people kind of deal with, the homeowners deal with the cha-ching? Okay, so we've talked a lot about individual homeowners. Are there specific ways that communities can work together to build more climate-friendly, resilient spaces?
Everybody, this is your home for the latest news in climate change and sustainability. I'm Jordan Steele.
And I'm Felicia Combs. Steph Abrams has the day off. I'm going to get straight into today's hot topics. So if invasive species cause issues with biodiversity, we have to get rid of them, right? You would think.
You would try to. I mean, we're trying to with the python in South Florida right now.
Oh, man.
It's hard.
Oh, yeah. Well, what if that species is a bunch of wild horses and they're being chased by helicopters and sometimes killed?
There where they're not, and then some say they are. There's a great book called Wild Horse Country for anybody who's interested in the history. But the thing is with this, you've got the wild horse.
I think one of the other things that I saw too was this was kind of during the time when they're also having babies. Like I guess there's a specific season that they're usually having their babies. So maybe plan that timing better. I don't know. There has to be a better option, but I would assume they would have tried it if there was.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and this is obviously up for debate to figure out what a different method is. All right, story number 2 here. Earlier we talked about switching your home to green energy, right? But the fact is businesses need to make the switch as well, including the entertainment industry. So
This
TV
is so cool, and I feel like this could solve so many other problems. Like, how many times do we talk about after hurricane season?
I was thinking the same thing.
You know, watch where you're putting your generator, the gas-powered generators, because it becomes dangerous. And we see people die every year from putting their generators inside or too close to their home. So I just wonder if this is a solution, if we should see more of these battery/solar-powered generators.
Right. I think we're going to see them a lot in our industry when we go
So many. And you know when you're starting to run out of batteries, because how many times have you been like, oh, I know I still have some batteries left in there. I'll just change it out. And then your remote doesn't have batteries for a week because you didn't actually have batteries in it.
And the reality of, like, you can't just put batteries in your normal curb recycling box.
I didn't know that.
Well, maybe some do, but a lot of them don't. And so you have to take them to a battery-specific recycling spot.
That's good to know.
And so that makes it always a little bit more difficult, too, because then you got to run an extra errand. And for this, you just mail it in, do your thing, mail it back.
And you feel good. You feel good about what you're doing.
Yeah. Here's, we still have more to cover this hour in Pattern. Welcome back, everybody. So if you've been waiting to see the new Barbie movie, the day has finally arrived. This is why she's been dressed in like a pink reddish hue all week.
Yesterday I wore my pink and everyone was like, great red. And I'm like, oh, it's pink, but okay. Barbie isn't just a movie star, though. Since 1959, she's held a wide range of careers, even running for president in 1992. And in her 64 years, she hasn't aged a bit. You go, girl. But she's also seen a lot of changes in our planet.
Barbie loves the color pink, but hey, it is Friday, which means it is time for this week's Heroes and Zeros.
That's right. This week, Pattern climate science producer Allie Van Fleet highlights the people who are helping the planet and those who need to step up their game.
I appreciate my peace and quiet.
Me too. When volume is too loud, I'm like, hey.
It's good. It's nice.
To everybody.